people who were just so upset about new IRS reporting requirements when you use payment apps. I want to talk to you about how that's going to work from here forward. I want to give you an update on what's going on with all those crazy tax forms that people were freaking out about, that people were going to receive a form of a 1099 who received money from others in excess of $600 over the course of a year from Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Big Bad Zelle, any of those, that this was an accounting nightmare. And at the last minute, the last couple of tax years, the IRS delayed, suspended the new requirements. And this was a requirement that Congress had passed a few years ago. And then this year they were like, oops. And a new provision was passed that all it did was roll back things to the way they used to be, which is you will receive a version of a 1099 if you on the payment platforms receive more than 20 grand in a year. You're just automatically assumed at that point to be engaged in some kind of business activity. There's also another threshold you could hit even at a lower amount than 20,000, and that's if you have 200 or more transactions a year. A lot of us who are landlords, I'm a landlord, receive rent now from our tenants through one of the payment apps. So depending on how much the rent is, odds are very likely at what rents are in most of the country, you're going to blow past that $20,000 limit. That is not a problem for you as a landlord when you'll get that 1099, because all you're going to do, you're already required to report that income on your rents, royalties, whatever part of your tax return, and you'll reflect that 1099 there, and then you'll back it out versus your expenses and all the other stuff. It will be no significant, meaningful change for you. The whole purpose of this that Congress has been fumbling over for years is there are a lot of people running a side business that maybe they used to do in cash, but because so few people carry cash anymore, that people are now, with the apps, paying for stuff. And so you running a little side thing, may have been just pocketing that money and not reporting the income from your little side gig. That's why Congress put these requirements in place to be able to capture more tax revenue. Well, it turned out it was very intrusive. People obviously hated it. I can tell you from the responses we got the last couple of years, people really do hate this. And so that's why Congress said we give up and went back to the old system. So again, 200 transactions with one of the payment apps, more than $20,000 in a year, either of those triggers the 1099. Now, the other thing is that if you're doing work for a company, the requirement that they issue you 1099 has been $600 in earnings in a year for as long as I can remember. That's now $2,000. So a lot of people do just a little bit of work somewhere will no longer receive a 1099. The 2,000 is base. As inflation happens over the years, that will automatically reset each year. So there'll be less of a blizzard of paperwork for a lot of us.